Good morning, everyone. Myself Wahid, and I have 20 years experience in the industries, international projects like the metro rail and highways project. I am more about the BIM education plan in this session. My session is start from what is the BIM, what is it, how is the BIM education into the site or design coordination or project orientation and control the BIM team internally and site, etc. Coming to the BIM education plan, the standard setup. There is a BIM standard portfolio is mainly protected in with the project as well as documentation. There is the intent of a BIM education plan to be defined a foundational framework to ensure successful deployment of advancing technology on every BIM project. The key is a good planning with the design to engineering to construction process to minimize downstream surprise reward, retentions or gaps in the flow or model-based information. This consists of all the information to be maintained from the beginning, not the end of the project, mid of the project. Initial setup is important for every meeting, every project, and coordination, etc. There is a BIM setup, initial setup a formatting conversation of the BP documentation. There are several formatting conventions deployed through the BP, this BIM education plan. These are intended to give the user visual cues on how to complete the documents. All the styles are embedded within the Word documents should be used because all the many other documents are user friendly than Word documents. It is a flexible and is a compatible for all the BIM education plans. We can link with the BIM software, etc. The BIM setup is a basic BIM setup of the text. Example, text height styles you wanted in the entire project or a BIM supplementary project or BIM coordination project, etc. Example, you need to fix the text height. It's a 0.10 or a 0.8 or 0.12 or whatever it is. Have to set it initial period before you start the project with a title or template, BIM template, etc. Coming to the BIM, other than the text, all the colors, orientation, template, BIM standards, dimension style, fabrication styles, etc. have to fit initially, not the postponed or later. So BIM setup again, this BIM workflow is a solid BIM teams, is a BIM project is usually more eager to improve pressure at the generally more willing to put the extra work to learn new technology. Combining the below graph shows there is a briefing is important before the project starting any project, any BIM project, etc. Need then concept is the concept, the schematic design and design development and communication with the other discipline like structure, architecture, service engineers, geotechnical engineers, etc. Then legal action on the project, whether this is the software side or technical side, you have to consider everything before you start the project. What are the versions you are using, etc. Then optimization is the all the team leaders, team expert, BIM expert, etc. Based on the input or based on the project regulation, you have to move the project smoothly as well in the BIM with the ISO BIM standard. Coming to the BIM setup, we have the teams should be all the levels, seniors, juniors, freshers, the engineering, talking about the engineers, all these types of software setup, and the office orientation, etc. We have to carefully read the documentation before we start the project and concluding the project, etc. All the office setup is important, BIM orientation, BIM classical design, etc. Come to the BIM setup again, the quality control is a high importance to GSA. Within subsection, clearly define how the team will implement a quality control procedure to ensure the highest quality of both building and data for the GSA. The subsection 2 to make sure that the team knows exactly what is going to be a check. In this case, you have to check the entire team, what is the roles and responsibility individual, and what are they going to do, how they process, what is the implement to the project, how to take the project next level, the different stages, like the different contestant along with the ISO 19650, stick with the BIM International ISO 19650 standard. With this point included that common session, etc. The technology there is standards that a majority of it convert in a much greater details the GSA BIM guidance for Revit than within the BEP. This session of the BEP should save the reminder to the team consulting the full BIM standard as well as define any standards with the exceed the scope of the GSA BIM guidance for Revit. The completion of these sections may also require the includes IT personnel from the project stakeholders. Here is IT persons more involved in the BIM project rather than the technicians. IT persons have to update rather than a regular interview. What is the BIM updation from the international market, stakeholders, and upcoming the softwares. How to implement the software with the team, how to delegate the software, how to use the softwares, what are the new in different version. So everything after that, the BIM IT guys need to take a class, the BIM team, and as well as the engineers and technical parts, moreover. Deliver the project on time and within budget. In the BP implemented, all the stakeholders that and the teams will be the benefiting from it. So if it is case, there are any changes, a course of detailed changes in general education plan of the construction clear can be implemented. The main advantage of BXP is involved people we have a clear understanding of their role and contribution. A properly implemented BXP will make sure that the broader view of the project is clear. Is a result, the project will have a higher chance to be in the time to under budget. In this, the budget is important in the BIM project because any other using any other software, there's a budget exceeding what is the actual budget in the BIM project. All the budget including within the budget have to complete the project as per schedule and as per client requirement and as well so and so. All the budget clearly mentioned in the documentation and maintained with the team coordination and team circulation, etc. BXP rule book of the construction project. BIM execution plan is a highly acknowledged and acclaimed concept of the BIM methodology throughout the world, the process-oriented professional. It's a rule book of a construction project laid out of held every stakeholder involved with the project. BXP documents that will answer the following questions individual involved within a construction project. Here comes again the BXP played that have been every software, some as well as a project orientation, project stakeholders, and there is a rule that improved the domestic rules and the international rules are ISO 19650 rules. How to read properly and to implement that BIM process, BIM execution according to that project related software, etc. And a clear structure of collaboration communication. Another key component of the BIM execution plan is a communication and a collaboration during the project. Every team aware of the information that needs to be coordinated, the timeline of coordination from the start to complete of the project. Stakeholders are well informed within the collaborative structure, ensuring a smooth process throughout the project. In case any communication, there is a clear understanding of the responsible parties of the can be resolved in a short time. Come to this point, there's clear information on the softwares development and communication important in the project. BIM projects, because BIM education classroom simplify that the project related softwares as well as the technical part, etc. You need to communicate each one to one, whether it is a test or he or she a technician or engineers or managers or IT person, etc. Whoever the documentation and the discussion are very clear and thoroughly analyze it before start the BIM project. As well as in between, they need a meeting, have to arrange a meeting, collaborative the meeting, the team, and share that knowledge. What are the project orientation or software skills you have, or seniors have, senior. Anyone can teach anyone software side, technical side about the BIM orientation or BIM, how the BIM works and what is the BIM flow and project oriented, etc. Transparency need, the transparency need in BIM project, not only BIM project, all the other projects important, the transparency that a welcome factor is a construction project. It is a very important topic in the any BIM project. Transparency in each one of person have to make clear with no doubts of working on the project. Any construction project tends to be heavily dependent on the output from separate teams responsible for different responsibilities. In such a situation, it becomes extremely important to have a transparent process flow. A well-implemented BIM execution plans are normally available to every involved team and team members. From architecture or engineering team, contractors, developers to construction team, everyone to aware of their role and a set of expectation within the project. The result is a stress-free working environment. There is always an element to uncertainty in construction project. We have to stick with the transparency, discussion, transparency, and talking, to not to excluding that data environment, etc. Coming to the BIM education plans, there's a major project I involved in the BIM project. The first my experience that is that one of the metro project I involved completely in a BIM project in Bangalore, India. It is a G plus 2 stories. Is more about 150 meters and 200 meters, including highways. There is a road, it included road and metro rail project. It's one of the major projects in my career life. I involved in all the BIM project and completed BIM execution plans from beginning till end. And I also involved in the international project, like it is one of the major projects in the Riyadh Metro. It happened 2016 to between 2016 and 2018. It's a very big project, and I involved in the tennis station in the Riyadh Metro projects. Moreover, this project completing BIM coordination parts. We are working from India, engineers from UK, the construction is in Middle East, service drawings from Philippines. So the coordination, we faced many problems, solved many problems with working with the international time schedule, like IST, the British Standard Time, and UAE time schedule, etc. Then what were the problems we facing? Then we kept a meeting and concluded problems and solve the problems. All the projects kept well and good, good in our major projects. Come to the conclusion, there is a very infuse almost everything you need to about the BIM execution plan. I hope that the outline of the steps create a BVP and the template suggestion of the tips and the implementation are useful. Planner can be used to create the project documents and scope of manage the schedule. It's a great tool for each ability to encourage collaboration among project stakeholders. Plus, teams are constantly adding a new content or the developers or the new feature to be creation every straightforward. Here we have to talk about that BIM after before start the project or between the project end of the project. We are taking that what learned from that this project. What is the plus points? What is the minus points? I have to conclude. You have to document for the next project or taking up that new new persons or new team to develop that BIM execution. How we face this BIM execution plan, the past project. What are the problem faced internally, externally? So we have to conclude that all the problems with the new documentation to be maintained, library or any team members, additional adequate to that work progress in the next level. About to myself, I talking about myself. Not, I am not. I am Indianese. I myself in Mohamed Wahid. I am civil engineer in 20 years. As I said, 20 years experience in construction industries. I have 10 years in organization, 10 years in structural discipline. Moreover, I will know more international projects like Middle East, United Kingdom, USA, Singapore, some projects in India. My projects are mainly highways, metro rail project, towers, building design, etc. I started with a career at 2001 and completing more than 22 years in my construction industry. I learned BIM software from 2008 onwards. I started very using that three softwares, Revit softwares in 2008, 2010, and I started BIM processing in 2014 and 15. BIM execution plan, I learned much as I learned in the past 20 years. Also, I have educated what is the BIM, how the BIM process working, how to take it to the next level with a consultant, engineers, or student, or freshers, etc. Moreover, a job participating Autodesk AEC hours BIM with the BIM team for the collaborative projects and Bentley year of infrastructure project submission. I recommended you to stick with the BIM the right way, the quality wise and quality wise. The BIM is a very good software, very good process to the entire world in upcoming project. It may be going to be a very bad with the construction industry in next 10 to 15 years. Come to the end. Thank you for one and a half hour giving me opportunity to talk about myself and my project, etc. I am ending here. Thank you so much. Thank you for so much of your. We'll see next what is the BIM updates in the world projects. What are the BIM implementations we are discussing? Is going to implement our future projects. Also, it is we have to collaborate with our colleagues or very other consultant parties. We have to learn. We are working between. We are not competition in the BIM execution and so on. So we have to implement more and more. We have to collaborate. We have to come to the successful BIM project in future of life. Thank you so much. Thank you.